Hello, peas and hobby community. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are talking about how to cut a cantaloupe. So before I've demonstrated how to use a paring knife, but I was taught this summer, this new to me way of cutting a cantaloupe using a chef's knife, which I think is a really great way for beginner cooks, someone who's not comfortable using a paring knife and holding both the fruit and the knife in their hand, or also for kiddos if you want to get them involved in the kitchen. So I just want to demonstrate this super quickly. It's really easy to do. My melon is really nice and ripe, and you can tell that because if you can see the coloring, there's a little bit of orange showing through. So that means that this cantaloupe is ready to eat. Another way to tell that the melon is ripe is literally by smelling it. It's a little bit more difficult to do that nowadays in the time of COVID and wearing masks, so I would recommend to just pick out a melon that looks a little bit orange. If your melon is not ripe, put it in a paper bag, not a plastic bag, but a paper bag, and leave it out on the counter for a few days, and then it'll ripen really nicely. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna show you how to cut this. It just takes just a couple minutes. So I will set you down here. So I've got my cutting board and I've already washed the melon. You always want to wash your melon to make sure that there's no bacteria on it. And I'm gonna cut it in half crosswise. So once I do that, you can see the seeds in the middle. And I'm just gonna use a spoon to gently scrape these out. The melon is super soft, so unlike something like butternut squash, you don't have to put much pressure on there at all. And I'm just gonna put these into the sink so I won't make a giant mess. But you can see that, okay, that's nice and cleaned out. And now, remember that we always put the cut side down of our fruit when we're cutting anytime so that it doesn't roll around. So we're not gonna cut it like that. We're gonna lay it cut side face down, and I'm gonna use the chef's knife to just cut away from my body and cut that outer rind off of the cantaloupe. So I would recommend to do this in several pieces. The bigger the pieces, the more you're gonna cut lose some of your melon. So if you miss any pieces, no big deal, just go back. But this way is really nice, like I said, because you're not, you're always using the knife, always cutting away from you. So you're much less likely to hurt yourself. Oops, that is slippery though, so that's why you have to be careful. Perfect. Again, any little bit of green, you're just gonna slice off, but we're just gonna go all the way around the melon. So once you've sliced off all of that rind, just gonna clean it up just a little bit where I see extra green parts. Those won't hurt you, they're just not as tasty, they're gonna be a little bit more bitter. Okay, so now once we're finished, I'm gonna slice this. I'm gonna just cut this into slices, and you wanna slice this about as large as the pieces you want to eat. So if you want smaller pieces, then slice it smaller. If you want bigger pieces, of course, slice it bigger. Okay, I'm gonna take this now and lay those slices face down. Again, remember, we're always cutting with the flat side down. Oops, I missed a few spots. No big deal. Take those off. Okay, and so now I'm just gonna cut those into pieces, and then I will cut these. Okay, this is very slippery. I'm gonna cut those into pieces across. Perfect. Those are done. Cut those into pieces, and I will do that then with the other half of the melon, and I will have a bunch of really delicious cantaloupe. So you can actually also do the same technique with watermelon. There's also other melons like canary melon or honeydew. You could do this same technique with any of those. So again, if you feel uncomfortable using a paring knife, this is a great alternative. Just make sure that your knife is sharp for those larger melon because it'll make a difference. If anybody has any questions, make sure to drop a comment. If you want to see other vegetable prep guides, especially coming into the fall and winter, we're gonna have some new vegetables available. So leave me a message if there's anything in particular that you would like to see, and I will catch you guys next week. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.